usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll make this a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
15.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Kazee. And a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Takk McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming up.
And he's going to go down again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Matt Ioannidis in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
On 2nd down, Ryan. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Ryan. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Returnable here from the 38. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They call him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Dorsett. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Ryan. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. They give him a gain of 37. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Now it's Ryan. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. This will be caught just inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run here with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll run. It's Dorsett. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness, off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Ryan. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they hand it off to Dorsett. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Second and 9 now from the 21. On the give, this is Dorsett. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Lewis. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Smith throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Touchdown, Washington! Cole Richardson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as a wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They snap it at one. Now Ryan. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now Ryan on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 64 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 3rd and short. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Ryan to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. So we've reached... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. So out come the Falcons now. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
And while that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently. That doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 3rd down, Ryan, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets down.
Again, it'll be Dorsett. And he'll power his way up near the 25. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Smith, able to push his way through. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the shotgun, Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play they were defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for him, too.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Smith. Pass from 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A very solid gain of 27.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Dorsett. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And they'll go on the ground. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. A shotgun snap for Smith. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Matt Ryan in the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down. Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Alex Smith in the offense heading out for their next possession. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. A really nice gain of 25 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
From the 50, it's Smith. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tyler Davison breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back now at FedEx Field. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Out of the gun, Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And they get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On third down, it's Lewis. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher is back in New Paltz. Mrs. Bythema Bagley used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Ryan. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Here's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Get up!
They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So now it may look bleak, but this one not over. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Even at this point on the field, where it looks like, you're really backed up, hold them to a field goal. That's the mantra right now. You hold them to a field goal. You still got a chance to take care of business on the other end, but you're right. The 3 timeouts are going to be key. How well they use them to preserve clock as well as stopping them, that's the key to giving them a chance to win.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ballgame. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So out now come the Redskins. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Back to throw. Jordan Reed has it. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Takk McKinley in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Takk McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.